Barron Trump and his childhood friend. The 2025 First Crush Story X Loves. Introduction. In 2025, Barron Trump, the youngest son of President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, has once again found himself at the center of public fascination. A resurfaced story about a childhood friend from his early years at Trump Tower, speculated by some on the social media platform X to be his first crush, has ignited widespread interest. This narrative, blending nostalgia, speculation, and the allure of a young man navigating life under intense scrutiny, has captivated X users, spawning viral posts, memes, and even AI-generated content. However, much of the story is shrouded in mystery, with limited verified details and a flurry of unconfirmed claims. This article explores the origins of this story, the dynamics of Barron's childhood friendships, the role of X in amplifying the first crush narrative, the phenomenon of AI-generated teen romance videos, and how Melania Trump's protective instincts have shaped Barron's private life. Through a critical lens, we aim to separate fact from fiction while providing a comprehensive look at this intriguing chapter in Barron's life. Barron Trump's early life at Trump Tower. A privileged yet sheltered childhood. Barron William Trump, born on March 20, 2006, is the only child of Donald Trump and Melania Trump. Raised in the opulent surroundings of Trump Tower in Manhattan, Barron's early years were marked by luxury and seclusion. The Trump Tower penthouse, described as a lavish residence with gold accents and marble finishes, was more than just a home, it was a fortress where Melania fiercely guarded her son's privacy. Unlike his older half-siblings, Donald Jr., Ivanka, Eric, and Tiffany, who were often in the public eye, Barron was kept out of the spotlight, a decision driven by Melania's protective nature. Barron's childhood was unique, shaped by his parents' high-profile status and the intense media scrutiny that came with it. Melania, a former model from Slovenia, prioritized creating a stable environment for her son, even as Donald Trump's business empire and later political career thrust the family into the global spotlight. Barron had an entire floor to himself in Trump Tower, a space that allowed him to cultivate hobbies like soccer and drums while maintaining a degree of normalcy. Melania described him as a very strong-minded, very special, smart boy, who was independent and opinionated, traits that hinted at a personality distinct from his father's brash public persona. Schooling and social circle. Barron attended Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School on Manhattan's Upper West Side, a prestigious private institution known for its academic rigor and diverse student body. Tuition for the 2024 to 2025 term at the school starts at $61,770, reflecting the elite environment in which Barron was educated. His time at Columbia Grammar provided opportunities to form friendships with peers from similar affluent backgrounds, though Melania's oversight ensured these relationships remained private. Unlike many children of public figures, Barron's social interactions were carefully curated, with Melania prioritizing his safety and normalcy. It was during his time at Columbia Grammar that Barron reportedly formed a close friendship with a classmate, later identified in a viral TikTok video as a young woman named Maddie, who claimed to be his first girlfriend. This friendship, which allegedly took place during his elementary school years, is the foundation of the first crush story that has resurfaced in 2025. While little is known about the specifics of this friendship, it has become a focal point for X users eager to speculate about Barron's personal life. The move to the White House. When Donald Trump was elected president in 2016, Barron was just 10 years old. To avoid disrupting his school year, Melania and Barron remained in New York for the first 5 months of Trump's presidency, living at Trump Tower while Barron completed his term at Columbia Grammar. This decision underscored Melania's commitment to maintaining stability for her son, even at the cost of delaying their move to the White House. In the summer of 2017, Barron and Melania relocated to Washington, D.C., where he enrolled at St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Potomac, Maryland, a school chosen for its academic excellence and proximity to the White House. This transition marked a significant shift in Barron's life, as he moved from the familiar confines of Trump Tower to the highly scrutinized environment of the White House. Despite the change, Melania continued to shield him from public attention, limiting his appearances at official events and ensuring his privacy remained intact. This period also saw Barron maintaining connections with childhood friends, including those from his New York days, though details about these relationships are scarce. The first crush story and its resurgence. The origin. Maddie's TikTok claims the first crush story gained traction in 2024 when a TikTok user known as Maddie, with the handle Madattitude, posted a video claiming she was Barron Trump's first girlfriend. According to Maddie, she and Barron attended Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School together, and their relationship developed during their elementary school years. She shared a photo from a class visit to the White House in 2017, where she and her classmates posed with then-President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, as evidence of her connection to Barron. Maddie also posted a selfie with Donald Trump, reportedly taken at their 5th grade graduation. Despite her parents' advice against it in her videos, Maddie described Barron as the nicest and a lil shy boy, emphasizing his kind and reserved personality. She claimed their relationship ended due to long-distance challenges after Barron moved to Florida to attend Oxbridge Academy in West Palm Beach following Donald Trump's loss in the 2020 presidential election. The TikTok posts, particularly one from 2020, went viral in 2024 as Barron's public profile grew following his 18th birthday and enrollment at New York University's Stern School of Business. 2.2x amplifies the narrative. The story exploded on X in 2025. Fueled by users' fascination with Barron's transition into adulthood and his relatively private life compared to his siblings. X posts dubbed Maddie as Barron's first crush, with some users romanticizing the childhood friendship as a quintessential coming-of-age tale. The platform's real-time, unfiltered nature allowed the story to spread rapidly, with hashtags and threads speculating about the identity of the childhood friend and the nature of their relationship. Some X-users posted nostalgic comments about young love, while others debated whether Maddie's claims were credible or merely a bid for attention. The first crush narrative resonated with X audiences for several reasons. First, Barron's low-key persona and Melania's efforts to keep him out of the spotlight made any glimpse into his personal life highly sought after. Second, the idea of a president's son experiencing a childhood romance in the iconic Trump Tower added a layer of glamour and intrigue. Finally, the timing, coinciding with Barron's freshman year at NYU and his father's second term as president, made the story ripe for speculation, as users projected their curiosity onto Barron's new chapter as a college student. Verifying Maddie's claims. While Maddie's TikTok videos provided visual evidence, such as photos from the White House visit, her claims remain unverified by official sources. The Trump family has not commented on the story, consistent with their approach to Barron's private life. A 2017 Page 6 report corroborated that Barron invited classmates to the White House, lending some credibility to Maddie's account of the visit, but it does not confirm a romantic relationship. Critics on X have questioned Maddie's motives, suggesting she may be capitalizing on Barron's growing fame, while supporters argue her posts reflect genuine nostalgia. The lack of concrete evidence has not deterred X users from embracing the story, with many treating it as a charming anecdote rather than a definitive fact. The absence of a rebuttal from Melania or Donald Trump has allowed the narrative to persist, though Melania's protective stance suggests she would likely dismiss such speculation as an invasion of her son's privacy. Debunking AI-generated teen romance videos. The rise of AI-generated content as the first crush story gained traction. X saw an influx of AI-generated videos purporting to depict Barron Trump in romantic scenarios. One particularly notable example was an AI-generated video imagining a grand royal wedding between Barron and Princess Leonor of Spain, a 19-year-old royal who had recently visited New York. The video, which surfaced in 2025, was entirely fabricated, relying on advanced AI tools to create realistic yet fictional scenes. X users quickly identified it as fake, but not before it garnered significant views and sparked debates about the ethics of AI-generated content. These videos are part of a broader trend where AI technology is used to create speculative or sensational content about public figures. In Barron's case, the videos often portray him in idealized romantic contexts, capitalizing on his good looks and mysterious persona. Donald Trump himself described Barron as good-looking during a 2024 podcast appearance, a comment that fueled further interest in his son's personal life and inspired content creators to produce AI-generated narratives. Why the videos are problematic. AI-generated teen romance videos raise several ethical concerns. First, they exploit Barron's private life for entertainment, disregarding his right to privacy as a young adult navigating college life. Second, they spread misinformation by presenting fictional scenarios as plausible, potentially misleading audiences who may not recognize the content as AI-generated. Third, they contribute to the hypersexualization of young public figures, a phenomenon seen with other presidential children like Malia Obama and the Bush twins. X users have been quick to call out these videos, with some posting warnings about their inauthenticity. For example, a viral X thread in 2025 debunked the Barron Princess Leonore video, pointing out inconsistencies in the visuals and urging users to prioritize verified information. Others criticized the creators for profiting off Barron's image without his consent, highlighting the challenges of managing one's public persona in the digital age. The role of X in combating misinformation. X has played a dual role in this saga, amplifying speculative content while also serving as a platform for debunking falsehoods. Community notes and user-driven fact-checking have been instrumental in identifying AI-generated videos, with some users sharing tutorials on how to spot telltale signs of AI manipulation, such as unnatural facial movements or inconsistent backgrounds. However, the rapid spread of such content underscores the difficulty of controlling misinformation in real time, especially when it involves a figure as intriguing as Barron Trump. Melania Trump's role in Barron's private life. A protective mother, Melania Trump has consistently prioritized Barron's privacy, a stance rooted in her own experiences growing up in Slovenia under a communist regime. In her memoir, Melania, released in 2024, she describes her son as remarkable, praising his confidence and poise in handling public scrutiny. Melania's protective instincts were evident from Barron's infancy, when she chose to remain in New York during the early months of Trump's first presidency to ensure Barron could finish his school year uninterrupted. As Barron entered his teenage years, Melania's oversight intensified. She limited his public appearances, ensured he attended private schools with robust security, and maintained a close relationship with her parents, Victor and Amelija Novs, who provided additional support for Barron. Amelija, in particular, was described as a second mother to Barron, moving to the United States to be near her grandson. This family-centric approach helped shield Barron from the media frenzy surrounding his father's political career. Navigating college life under scrutiny. Barron's enrollment at NYU's Stern School of Business in September 2024 marked a new chapter, but it also brought increased public attention. Melania has been vocal about the challenges Barron faces as a college student under Secret Service protection, noting that his experience is very different than any other kid. Despite these challenges, she has expressed pride in his ability to adapt, stating that he loves his classes and his professors, and is thriving in New York City. Melania's influence is evident in Barron's decision to live at Trump Tower rather than in campus housing, a choice that allows her to maintain closer oversight. Sources close to the family suggest that Melania is particularly vigilant about Barron's social interactions, aware of the potential for his friendships to be exploited by media or opportunistic individuals. This vigilance likely extends to the first crush story, which Melania has neither confirmed nor denied, consistent with her policy of keeping Barron's personal life private. Balancing privacy and public interest. Melania's approach to Barron's privacy is a delicate balancing act. While she acknowledges his role in supporting his father's 2024 campaign, particularly in advising on outreach to young voters through influencers and podcasters, she is careful to limit his exposure to speculative narratives. Her memoir and public statements emphasize Barron's maturity and intellectual curiosity, framing him as a young man with a bright future rather than a tabloid subject. The first crush story, while charming to some, represents the kind of intrusion Melania seeks to avoid. By maintaining silence on the matter, she allows Barron to define his own narrative, a strategy that has so far kept him largely out of the gossip columns compared to his siblings. Barron's life in 20255. A freshman at NYU at 19, Barron is a sophomore at NYU's Stern School of Business, having completed his freshman year in May 2025. His choice of NYU over family favorites like the University of Pennsylvania, where Donald and his older siblings studied, or Georgetown reflects a desire to carve his own path. The Stern School, located in Manhattan, is just 3 miles from Trump Tower, allowing Barron to remain close to his childhood home. Classmates and sources describe Barron as reserved yet approachable, with a low-key demeanor that contrasts with his father's larger-than-life persona. A friend quoted in a 2025 People article noted that Barron keeps his head down and gets on with things, likening him to Melania in his preference for privacy. Despite his shyness, he has made friends at NYU and is well-liked, with some noting his old-school manners and subtle charisma. Political involvement and public appearances. Barron's public profile grew during the 2024 presidential election, when he played a behind-the-scenes role in his father's campaign. Donald Trump credited Barron with suggesting appearances on popular podcasts, such as those hosted by Joe Rogan and Adin Ross, which helped attract younger voters. Barron's interest in politics was further highlighted when he was selected as a Florida delegate to the 2024 Republican National Convention, though he declined to participate due to prior commitments. His most notable public appearance in 2025 was at his father's second inauguration on January 20, where he stood alongside Melania and his maternal grandfather, Victor Noves. The event marked a rare moment of visibility for Barron, who otherwise avoids the spotlight. X users noted his towering height, reportedly 6 feet 7 inches or 6 feet 8 inches, and composed demeanor, further fueling interest in his personal life. Dating rumors and speculation. The first crush story is not the only romantic speculation surrounding Barron. In 2025, rumors emerged about a possible girlfriend at NYU, with an anonymous source telling NewsNation that Barron has a really nice girlfriend and hangs out with her a lot. However, Donald Trump contradicted this in a 2024 podcast, stating, "I don't think he's had a girlfriend yet," suggesting Barron is more focused on his studies than romance. These conflicting reports highlight the challenge of discerning fact from rumor in Barron's life. The Secret Service's constant presence adds another layer of complexity, as agents accompany him everywhere, making private social interactions difficult. Sources note that Barron is accustomed to this scrutiny, having grown up with security details, and he navigates it with the same poise described by his mother. The cultural significance of the first crush story. Why X loves it. The first crush story resonates on X because it humanizes Barron, a figure who remains largely enigmatic. As the youngest child of a polarizing president, Barron occupies a unique space in public consciousness, admired by some for his potential, scrutinized by others for his family's legacy. The idea of a childhood romance in the gilded halls of Trump Tower evokes a universal theme of young love, making Barron relatable despite his extraordinary circumstances. X's role as a platform for unfiltered discourse allows users to project their own narratives onto Barron's story. Some see it as a nostalgic tale of innocence, while others use it to speculate about his future, from political ambitions to romantic prospects. The story's viral nature reflects X's power to amplify personal anecdotes into cultural phenomena, often blurring the line between fact and fiction. 6. 2 Comparisons to other first children. Barron is not the first presidential child to face public fascination with their personal life. Malia and Sasha Obama, Jenna and Barbara Bush, and Chelsea Clinton all navigated similar scrutiny during their teenage years. Like Barron, they dealt with rumors, media speculation, and the challenges of dating under Secret Service protection. Jenna Bush Hager, for example, has shared humorous anecdotes about her husband sneaking out of the White House, illustrating the logistical hurdles of romance for first children. What sets Barron apart is his relative absence from the public eye, which makes any tidbit about his life, such as the first crush story, particularly compelling. Unlike his siblings, who actively participated in their father's first term, Barron has remained a peripheral figure, amplifying curiosity about his personality and relationships. The role of nostalgia. The first crush story taps into a broader cultural nostalgia for simpler times, particularly childhood friendships and first loves. For X users, many of whom grew up in the 2000s and 2010s, the image of a young Barron forming a bond at Trump Tower evokes memories of their own formative years. This nostalgia is heightened by the contrast between Barron's privileged upbringing and the universal experience of a childhood crush, creating a narrative that feels both aspirational and relatable. Ethical considerations and media responsibility. The ethics of speculating about a young adult's life. The first crush story, while seemingly harmless, raises ethical questions about the public's right to speculate about a young adult's private life. Barron, at 19, is navigating the transition from adolescence to adulthood under unprecedented scrutiny. The proliferation of unverified claims and AI-generated content risks exploiting his privacy for clicks and engagement, a practice that has drawn criticism from media ethicists. Melania's protective stance underscores the need for boundaries, yet the public's curiosity often overrides these concerns. Responsible media outlets and X-users alike must weigh the entertainment value of such stories against the potential harm to Barron's well-being, particularly as he establishes his own identity separate from his parents'. The responsibility of X-users. X's decentralized nature empowers users to shape narratives, but it also places responsibility on them to verify information and avoid spreading misinformation. The first crush story illustrates this challenge, as users must navigate a mix of first-hand accounts, like Maddie's TikTok, speculative posts, and outright fabrications, like AI videos. Community-driven fact-checking and critical engagement are essential to maintaining a balanced discourse. The future of Barron's public persona. As Barron continues his college journey and his father's second term unfolds, the public's interest in his life is unlikely to wane. How he and his family manage this attention will shape his public persona. Melania's approach, emphasizing his maturity while shielding him from gossip, suggests a strategy of controlled visibility, allowing Barron to engage with the public on his terms, whether through political advising or future endeavors. Conclusion. That Barron Trump and his childhood friend, the 2025 first crush story. X loves phenomenon encapsulates the intersection of celebrity culture, social media, and public curiosity. Originating from a TikTok user's nostalgic claims, the story has grown into a viral narrative, amplified by X's real-time discourse and complicated by AI-generated content. At its core, it reflects a universal fascination with young love and the coming-of-age journey, set against the extraordinary backdrop of the Trump family. Melania Trump's unwavering commitment to Barron's privacy has kept much of his life under wraps, making stories like this all the more tantalizing. Yet, the lack of verified details and the spread of AI-driven misinformation highlight the need for caution in consuming and sharing such narratives. As Barron navigates his sophomore year at NYU and his father's presidency, his story serves as a reminder of the challenges faced by young adults in the public eye. And the power of platforms like X to shape, and sometimes distort, their realities. By critically examining this story, we gain insight into not only Barron Trump's life but